Hi, it's Laurel with the Performing Arts Academy Music Theory curriculum. This is the second video for Level 2, and you can find the link to the other one in the description. In this video, we're going to be covering common time, compound meter, and tempo markings. Let's look at common time first. Sometimes in music, you'll see this symbol that looks like a C where you would expect your time signature to be. As a matter of fact, it is a C, and it stands for common time. So what is common time? Well, traditionally, the most commonly used time signature in Western music is 4/4 time. So we just started calling it common time as a shortcut. So anytime you see this C as your time signature, just remember that's common time, and it just means the same thing as 4/4. But now let's look at some more complicated time signatures. As you'll recall from your earlier music theory, in a time signature, the top number tells you how many beats are in a measure, and the bottom number tells you which note value gets one beat. Up to this point, we've mostly just looked at time signatures where the quarter note gets the beat, but now we're going to look at some time signatures where the eighth note gets the beat. But what do I mean by that? Let's look at an example. This is 6/8 time. What do you think this time signature means? Well, the top number tells us that there are 6 beats in a measure, and the bottom number tells us that the eighth note gets one beat. So what does that mean? It just means that there are 6 eighth notes, or some equivalent, in each measure. Now, there's something special about time signatures where the top number can be divided by 3. We call these compound meter, and the special thing about them is that the notes are grouped in threes. So in 6/8 time, we would have 2 groups of 3/8 notes. So rather than counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we've said that the eighth note gets the beat in this time signature, but there's something else going on here as well, and that's what we call a pulse. Although we have 6 beats in the measure, we feel the music in 2, that is, 2 groups of 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or we could count it 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. So we would say the pulse of this music is in 2. As another example, we might see a 12/8 time signature. Similar to 6/8, 12/8 can be divided by 3, so it would also be a kind of compound meter. But rather than feeling this in 2, we would feel it in 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, or we could count it 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3. So we would say the pulse of this time signature is in 4. So once again, compound meter is any time signature that can be divided by 3, like 6/8 and 12/8, and the pulse of the music is where the strong beats are felt. Now, let's talk about tempo markings. Tempo markings are how the composer tells you, the performer, how quickly or slowly to play. They'll do this in one of 2 ways. On the one hand, they may just give you a metronome marking, and that will look something like this. The quarter note tells you that's what gets 1 beat, and the number tells you that's how many beats per minute you should be playing. So in this example, the composer wants you to play at about 80 quarter notes per minute. Now, if you're playing in a compound meter, like 12/8, you may see a metronome marking that looks like this. That's because the pulse in this music is on every third eighth note, or 1 dotted quarter note, which is equal to 3/8 notes. With this metronome marking, you would just treat it as if there were 4 beats in a measure and play at 120 beats per minute. The other way a composer might tell you what tempo to play at is by giving you a tempo term. Mostly these are just Italian terms that we're translating into English. I'll run through a few of the most common ones here, but you'll want to review your term sheet to make sure you know these. Lento means slow. Andante is a little faster than lento, but still somewhat slow. Literally, it means at a walking pace. Moderato, just like it sounds, means moderately. Allegro is fast, and presto is very fast. There are others that you'll want to know, but learning these is a good place to start. And now you've made it through level 2. You've learned about the circle of fifths, the step pattern of a major scale, common time, compound meter, and tempo markings. So great job, and keep it up.